Malcolm remembered the first horror film he'd ever seen. He'd been 6 years old enough to finally sleep by himself without his mother slouched in a chair next to his cradle or bedside, dozing while baby Malcolm had been fitful and restless all night. First because that was what babies did, then because teething, then because cognitive imagination kicked in, and he could give himself one hell of a vicious set of night terrors right from the depths of his own mind. Even then he'd had a vivid visual capacity, and some of the things he'd conjured for himself far outstripped the images that later in life he'd cringe from on big broad movie screens. But his parents had found a trick to get him to sleep without waking himself up screaming, thrashing, tangled in the blankets and clawing at them until he hurt himself in his desperation to get free from things that were half nightmares, half waking dreams, all slavering, coiling tongues and ropey, skinless bodies and black eyeless sockets. And before they had ever convinced him to believe in any sort of god of men, they convinced him that the little plastic moon-shaped nightlight plugged into the wall socket in his bedroom had the power to banish his darklings into the ether, because they couldn't creep beyond that soft golden glow of electric moonlight. That had been the beginning of his issues with control. Or maybe he'd been born with them. He didn't know. All he knew was that as long as he'd had that nightlight, he was okay.